Welcome to the 1-0 podcast. I'm your host, Tom Skeen, along with my co-host, who for the first time got to see the Seattle Mariners play live in 2026. How was it, Don?
Man, good to be here, Dom, as well, and tap in with you. It was great, man. I mean, whenever I do the series, the Yankees out here, in the Bronx, it's a beautiful thing. Like, there's a lot of guys that travel, guys and girls. A lot of Mariner fans travel, so that's cool. The vibes in the stands are high, and even though things shook the way they shook, and we got one, which is great. You still caught vibes. You still got to dap up people. People are cheering strong. So I love that we got some Mariner fans, out here in New York still. And yeah, no, Yankee Stadium's chill. It's a good vibe.
That's what's up. Yeah, 1-0 today for the 1-0 podcast, you could say. They finally win a game for you. Glad you got to see a win. They made that nice and easy. Yeah, but as far as this game, just 9 hits overall, a pitching duel. What was the atmosphere like? I was at the Logan Gilbert Max Fried game. It was like the 6th game the Mariners played all year back in April or in March, actually.
Yeah.
You were at this game now, seeing 2 of the top 20 pitchers in the majors go against each other today. What was kind of the feeling in that stadium like?
I would say that it was pretty tense as far as the pitching duel went. Things definitely got to be as you saw, like a 1-0 finish, kind of a stalemate back and forth for a long time. It was just like who's gonna get that run, which we did, and who's gonna captivate on holding the other team, because we seem to be able to hold them today, which is brilliant. LG was pushing that thing. He was really making people look crazy, and we look good. I would say over the whole series, like we still got guys on bags. We still left guys on bags like we don't like to. But as far as today went, a tense situation as far as up at the plate. Guys were trying to have patient approaches. A lot of hard hits at people often. So that was tough. And, those Yankees are making plays. So, it was a great game to see this last one. All of them were great to see, though. But overall, we saw good things. Sucks to lose a series. But to take one is still a great takeaway.
That was a really adept observation, the fact that a lot of hard hits, but they were all at people. That's why the Mariners, in this one, a higher expected batting average than the Yankees by a bit, have a 40% hard hit rate to the Yankees, just 23.8%. So the Mariners hitting the ball hard almost twice as much. And you look at the starting pitching battle just in a vacuum. Logan Gilbert, just 3 hard hits allowed on 95 pitches to Max Fried, 6 allowed on 88 pitches. So both good metrics, but Logan just twice as good in this one, and allows nothing because of it. But I do also want to ask you about the offense. Getting to talk to some of these guys on the offense today. I know, obviously, you've got your homies in the Mariners clubhouse and stuff, which we're going to get to in just a sec. But I do want to ask you, seeing these guys in person, what kind of vibes did you get from the hitters in this lineup?
Yeah, man, I feel like we're hungry. We're approaching it with great poise. I think that during BP, especially first game BP, we looked so ready. Guys are hitting the ball strong, looking good. Everybody's bat was popping. And then the game starts and we pop. We get hits. We got lots of hits, in my opinion. We just didn't run them around. We didn't bring guys in. That was the worst part of that. Saw a lot of guys left on bags. Our offense looks like it wants to eat. We look like we want to eat, bro. And we're hustling. Like we talked earlier, Randy looks like he's running for his life. And that was amazing to see. Like, it's just, there's something about that Bronx stadium, I guess, that some guys just really push it. And I like to see Randy push it. And then, Brandon Donovan, seeing him back, he looked great. He was hustling. He was taking cuts. Julio, cuts. Taylor Ward, cuts. You know what I'm saying? We look like we want to hit. And we are. But like I said, we're hitting a lot of hard balls right to guys, and they're making the play. Maybe if it's somebody lesser or some other scenario, these guys don't make the play. And I'm better with chasing a hard hit where you make a play than chasing a whiff and wonder. So for me, I love that we're taking our cuts. We're up there with poise and strength. We just got to get that to be a consistent rolling momentum.
You say, you talk about the playing hard. The Randy running was kind of my story of the of the last couple days offensively. Him obviously showing up homers the past 2 days, but yesterday, even though 5-10 loss, just seeing Randy run for his life in the ninth inning down the first base line was enough to make it a better watch. And I've talked about it in the last week, like I want this team to be better to watch, right? If they, the film don't lie, right? The tape doesn't lie. The numbers, I trust the tape more than the numbers, to be honest. And when the team looks good, right? When they're putting good, when they put it on the field, right, and you can see it in the product, in the way they play, that's what's important to me. So I really appreciate, that in the stadium, that's something that was evident because, on the broadcast, you only see so much of, all those, running in between things. But yeah, Randy is somebody who I don't know how much he actually he might not be a Mariner after this this offseason is going to get a huge contract and it could be with another team in the Mariners. I'm not sure that, this S means more to him than every other major league team the way it does to me, but he's representing this and he's like the 2026 Mariners clearly means something to Randy Arozarena right now. So I want to get your perspective on, how much this, the 2026 Mariners actually mean to these players, where a lot of people have written this season off.
Yeah, that's a fact. A lot of people have jumped the ship and wrote it off. I don't feel like any of the players are playing like that. I don't feel like any of the players are playing like it's in the back of the review to do what is actually in front of us. It's still a chance. It's still a promising chance. There's still time. So why would we, right? So no, I'm not getting any feeling of mutuality behind the jump ship or that we're loading up for next time or anything like that. And seeing Randy run like that, but knowing that he does need to move on, of course you have to keep your stock high. But you never have to run that hard ever, and he is. And that's just all I care about. What time you start to run, that's trivial. That you are doing it is everything. And it shows, guys are hustling extra. He wasn't the only one hustling, by the way, but he's just the most noticeable because, he was doing it the whole time. Like it wasn't just the ninth. Like he really hustled every time he was up. And his at-bats, he was working pitchers. He was working those at-bats. And he was hitting long balls. Like he really came to play. And he was having fun in the outfield. He was social. He was vocal. He was thumbs up. He was talking. He was chirping. Him and Julio were doing DJ moves and plugged in. Like it was just an energy, man. It was an energy that was in there that's vibrating. And somehow Seattle, Washington needs to tap into that type of energy in the stadium.
Thank you. Let's talk. Hey, can we get a hashtag of something? Help us in the chat, please. Come up with a hashtag like bring Randy's energy or like tap into Randy's energy. Seattle tap. Don, you're the wordsmith. Being the rapper.
Yeah.
And what do you?
We'll cook up something.
What do you? Yeah, we got to think up something in terms of like a slogan for like Seattle, Washington needs to tap into Randy Arozarena's energy in the ballpark.
Definitely.
I need to put that as like a quote on social media because that is fire. That's everything. If we tap into that, if we're hustling, if everything, if we're hustling because we care, not because we think we deserve a win and we ought to win and we deserve, and this is where we're supposed to be at, then then oh my gosh, right? We've won baseball. We love baseball again, right? I'm a believe again. You're gonna trick everybody into believing again. Who cares what the record is? I haven't said those words, right? I haven't got that that spurt of excitement out of myself in a little bit, right? But getting back on with you, having you at the ballpark, right? I know. Don is a secret weapon at the ballpark. So I do. After talking about the baseball, I want to let you just talk about your experience at the ballpark. If you guys don't know, Don, right, is somebody who he has some really interesting, authentic relationships with these guys. So I'm just gonna let you take the floor, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. So to start at the top, I do this 4 years running now with my boy Brian out here, and go to the series, and just to support the guys. And it's become a thing. It's become something that I will never stop doing. Viewing and watching the guys away has just really become the way I love to watch the fellas, simply because they're always trying to hustle and do well, but when they get that support on the road that seems to carry them, there's just a different type of connection through that, that I'm tapping into. Now, mind you, I'm tapped in at the crib too, so it's nothing different. I'm just segueing it on the road. But yeah, we're electric, man. Shout out to everybody on the squad who shows love. Shout out to Pete Woodworth, who always giving love. Like, they don't have to do any of that. They never do. And that's why I stay doing it. That's why I stay on the pulse of it, because I feel like it's doing something. And if I can do a little bit, 2% to push us up, then I'm with it. And, I come out, I show love. I brought some things for Julio, hooked him up with a mystery bag, that first game. And I told him, yo, just whatever, just look at this stuff, get vibes, and, like, holler at me if, you want to trade me something. And I left it at that. And I just, sat back and watched them ball, and very receptive. That's my guy, and I saw the energy. I feel the energy in those deeds that I feel like I'm doing, just in my hooting and hollering. I feel like I'm part of that. And I feel like a lot of people feel that too, but yeah, I can admit, bro, I'm a secret weapon, because I feel like our guys love to see our guys rooting for our guys and girls. I don't want to leave them out either. Chirping above the bullpen. They love that. I caught a lot of slack this series from some hecklers, but you eat that and they watch you eat that, and they want to go harder, and they're like snapping at me, and it's just love, brother. So this thing is an energy that I will never decrease. I'll only try to increase. I want to have more people pull up. Like, more people should go to away joints if they can. But to get back on point, it really became a situation when, like, you're in the stands, you're yelling at any player, and it's love. And I think that's my tie. I'm down low, I'm walking around, I'm yelling, I'm shouting, I'm bringing that teal sleeve energy. And it's remarkable, bro. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words, I'm at a loss for my voice. I just really feel like there's something there for me, and they're feeding off of it.
That right there. You can't tell me the season is over when you hear those words. Everybody in the chat, tell me, hey, get in the chat right now. Season's not over. Or no, we need like a positive. What's a positive version? I don't want to say, oh, it's not over, but you know what I mean.
But it's true. It's not. You're fine. It's not over, man. That's what I'm saying. Keep showing up, like Julio said. It's not over, man. I saw plenty of flashes of pop in our bats. I saw plenty of base runners on bags. We just didn't get them in. These are slight tweaks that we tweaked that. We're doing everything that you can do to win a ball game. Period. You hit, you get on base, you bring them around. That's what you have to do. So we start doing that. We're going to see what we want to see. And it's just it's a momentum game at this point. It's a lock-in momentum game. I don't think, even with the 10-5 loss, and I know everybody's dogging us for that. I'm there. People are watching on TV too. We came out swinging. We came out strong. We were electric, fans lit. Yankees worried. I promise you, worried. And but they know they can hit, so they're climbing back, and that is what it is. But I do want to give some insight, since you mentioned, watching on TV, you can't see everything. When we were up, Randy scored from second off a hit, and he was running his tail off to score, and he beat him. And we got crazy, dugout going crazy. And right after that, 3 people ran on the field. 3 streakers ran on the field and froze everything. And, after the game, I saw on social media, people been like, in New York, like, oh yeah, the security handled that. That was easy work. Those guys are nerds. I was there. That took so long for them to get them off the field. One kid was squirming and worming. He almost got back up off the ground. The security, all their staff had to work to get that done. And then after that pause, which was an in-game pause, mind you, they did a pitcher change because we were jumping on that pitcher. And it's that freeze that really slowed our momentum. And I know everybody's like, oh, 10-5. Momentum. No, momentum is real. Like when you play Madden, you get that momentum, you just keep scoring. And that's where we were. I'm not blaming everything on that, but I'm just trying to give a piece of the view that I had, because that was detrimental to our momentum, bro. And we did slowly decay over time when that occurred. So
I haven't even seen a video of these streakers. My sister was like, "Oh my gosh, do you see this video of these?" I didn't even, but so yeah, that stuff takes a long time, right? That can ruin the momentum. Momentum is so important to capture, right? If we could just capture momentum at will, right? If that wasn't the hard thing, I mean,
for sure,
it wouldn't be in any
that'd
of
be
the
awesome.
positions that we're in as the Seattle Mariners, under 9 games, 9 games into
Yeah,
500, anything like that, right? Now 8
for
games,
sure.
but yeah, so yeah, the momentum can be completely ruined by stuff like that. You told me that yesterday. I made sure to kind of address that because that definitely was one of the big things. Talk to our boy Julio Rodriguez, who you actually have known, since you made the Home Run Julio song, right? So I want to give you a little bit, because I don't know how much we've actually asked you about your relationship with Julio himself. So I'd love to, ask you about that. And yeah, did our boy manage to get back to you this time with the trade, or is that coming next time?
Oh, word. So yeah, to start from the top, we picked up Julio. He'd already been in our farm system. I saw flashes of him there, but I didn't really know him, when he was playing in the farm system. And then once he came up, of course, he's a superstar, soon to be, right? Everybody knew where he was headed, the trajectory. And so I was just tapped in. I love the outfield. Big Griffey fan. I was like, this is our next guy. This is the next kid. And sure enough, he has not sold me short. And I gravitated to his game. I gravitate to his family aesthetic. I gravitate to, the light that he seeks within. And so I was just instantly a fan. And so I wrote that song just knowing that he was a baller, coming to the field, seeing his energy, being in the no fly zone and just seeing him interact and being like, man, this is our guy. And then obviously watching a superstar ball out, that we all know, So I wrote that and I threw it into the world. That's all I did. And then the next year, it was at season ticket photo day. He was walking around and he was like dapping up some people, and there's so many kids there. I don't want to interrupt, but he was gonna probably walk by me, and I was just like, "Hey, Julio, like, Home Run Julio, I made that for you." And he was like, "Oh, my bro," and he dapped me, and he was like, "Man, I've never had a song made for me. Like, you're different. Like, that's dope, bro. Thank you." And I was like, "Man, that means a lot." And so just from there, I just tried to stay tapped in, and always root for my guy. And I'm a big ball chaser, baseball chaser. So I'm running around the field trying to get a ball from him and Ty France back when he was still with us, and that's how I built rapport with him. And just building through the game, just building through the love of the game and the hype of it. And then, just getting to be on the field and talk to him and try to holler at him. And that just became my constant, bro. That's really just how I built the relationship. And, talking to the other guys too, making sure that they know it's everybody, it's not just Julio, like everybody's a part. Baez, Novak, what I'm saying, all the pitchers, so many pitchers have come and gone. Like they all signed a jersey for me that I'm going to keep racking up all my boys' signatures because I want to show complete love. Right. But back to Julio, it was just a thing where I gravitated to that player, that position, and that mindset. So last year when I came through, he's dotting me with the balls. I asked him, I got a snag. Will you sign it? He was like, get close. So I got close and he pulled up, he signed it, showed love, and he dipped out. And after that, I was like, I'm never not pulling up to New York, right? Because it was just like, dang, this boy's for real. And so came out this time, put a package together for him of just like a bunch of stuff that I'm sure he likes, some random stuff that he might want, some cards or whatnot, baseball vibes. And I was like, hey, man, take this mystery bag because they won't let me bring a box inside here. And just get back to me when you can. If you can, I'm here all 3 games. It's love. Go get dubs, And he was excited. Smile was nice. And that's what I'm there for. I'm there to accentuate that energy, to get you into your game. And, he took it to the dugout and, proceeded to ball, and that's all I'm there for, bro. And to answer your question, yeah, he got back to me today, and he was like, I got you after the game, and it was love in the outfield. We had some other young ball players from DR out there, so I was helping them get baseballs. He was diming them up, and then after the game, I was able to go down to the field and talk to my guy, bro, and get some love and lock in with him. So that's my dog, man, and that's not gonna change. And that's our force, man. I think that should be the driving force to always connect with energy and to try to feed off that positivity. So, yeah, man.
You are, I think the main thing that, is apparent is that, the idea of showing love, you're so good at that. Maybe better than anybody, I've ever known.
Thank you, bro.
So good at understanding, the dynamic of if I show, love to you, then that's just authentic, right? And Julio seems like a person who would understand that. So I'm glad that you have that unique relationship with him.
No doubt.
And I know you also have a relationship with a member of the New York Yankees grounds crew. You also.
Oh yeah.
How did that one go?
That went awesome, man. My boy Shane. Shout out to Shane. Yeah, no, he's just a good guy, man. The first time I came through, he was actually working security there. And we were just chopping it up, talking about Seattle and New York, and he's a big fan of Funko Pops. I was like, bro, I live in the home of the Funko. Like, you want one, I got you. You're super cool. And he was like, yeah, bro, like you bring me that, I'll trade you something. And even that day, like I had a ball. He was like, yo, let me get your ball. And I threw him the ball, and he went and put it in some Yankee dirt. You know what I'm saying? And got it real nice. And I was like, oh, bro, that's a treasure right there. So from that moment on, I was like, bro, when I come back, I got something for you. So this time when I pulled up, I made sure he's working, but he advanced. Now he's part of the groundskeeping crew that does the YMCA and all that. Like he's tapped in. I'm like, dang, you done moved up, my boy.
Oh, he's part of the dancing grounds crew for them.
Yeah, he's part of the sweepers, bro, and he's putting in bases now. Yeah, he's really in the function now. And I told him I had something for him, so I slid that to him on the side. And he already had hooked me up, so I wasn't really worried about anything, but he still hooked me up. And I don't know, the connections are just a blessing, bro. From park to park, you can definitely tap in because we all are there for the game. So it's just me going around trying to make these connections and be in the game and, shine my light. And I just feel like my ROI is that I will be in baseball somewhere because of the way my heart is, the way that my soul really shines at these spaces. And I'm nobody, I just love it. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And I know that I'm supposed to function in this space. I'm just figuring out how. So I think I'm planting the seeds, linking with the people who, you should be able to talk to, connect with. If you're going to be on the field, want to be welcomed. I'm just doing the gardening. I'm just out here tilling the land.
That's right. I mean, Don Dishes, this is somebody who, I can tell from kind of the moment, that I saw your stuff, which is Home Run Julio. It's like nobody else is doing this, right? I don't know exactly. There isn't really a format for Mariners rappers because there hasn't been one. There's been Macklemore's made some, the My Oh My song. You've had a couple other people make, some songs, but you're the first actual Mariners rapper I think there's been. So it is such an honor to have you on the 1-0 podcast. Everybody, if you haven't subscribed to Don's channel, go subscribe. He's much better than me at using Instagram, by the way. So if you're upset by my lack of ever posting on Instagram content, Don really is the one of us that has anything going on up there. He's got that all figured out. But
I got you covered. Brother.
Yeah. Before you go from New York, I want to let you talk about anything else in New York, non-baseball related, anything else didn't mention, and let you get out of there because, man, it's almost 1 a.m. on the East Coast.
Yeah, but my vibes are so high, I could do this all night. But I appreciate you, man, and I can't wait to get back into our regular rhythm. I definitely feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. New York is fun, man. New York is fun. It's a beautiful spot. Fans, shake up, right? This is the first time, though, that I caught, like, some crazy hate. But there's still so many of those fans that have a lot of love. Like even when I caught some crazy hate and I ate it because I'm not trying to ever not be able to come back, right? I keep my poise, keep my composure. Then fans come over and they're like, bro, we love your energy. Like, and they dap me and they're like, bro, those aren't New Yorkers. Like they let us know that. And I got to give props to the Bronx for that because there's a lot of love there. And some cats get a little too sloshed and, peace be with them, grab some Aquafina, you feel me? But other than that, it's a great place to see a game, man. I would like to go to Citi Field too sometime, catch a Mets game when we play them next season. Maybe make it a 6-game stretch. It'll be crazy, right? But yeah, I'm excited, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna fly out tomorrow. So, safe flight for me, I hope. Put the prayers up. And yeah, before we go, I'll do this. Shout out to my boy Julio. I got the game day bat.
What?
And he tricked it out. He went crazy with the sig.
What?
So, to my boy Don, with love, DJ Plano, and then the sig. So,
my
yeah. I'm not going to sleep anytime soon.
Oh my goodness, Don.
Yeah.
I knew you.
Yeah.
Something. I didn't know it was gonna be that.
Yeah, bro. Big things.
I mean, man. And if you don't, if you ever want to learn about showing love, right? Listen to Don's story with Julio Rodriguez. I think we're gonna have to change the episode of this one to show it how to show love with Julio Rodriguez and Don Dishes or something, because that right there, right? That's authentic relationship. That is what the Mariners clubhouse needs, right? We don't know exactly what it looks like. We know that Logan and Cal have that great relationship, that always working together. We know that Julio, and Randy, have that. They have like a competitive relationship where they're both racing after the balls, right? And they're both trying to kind of out homer each other. But those authentic relationships, right, where knowing how to show love. Yeah, man, really. Just happy for you that you got to have that. You got that beautiful Brooklyn skyline in the back of you. That might actually be Ebbets Field. Is that the Ebbets Field Apartments right behind
you? Brooklyn. Definitely Brooklyn. Ebbets, I think, is a little bit farther to my left over here. But
you're like 2 homers away. You're like 2 Jackie homers away.
Yeah, if my arm was actually strong like that, I could toss one over there.
I mean, yeah, Jackie's arm probably could get it over to you right now from
facts. Oh, yeah, every time.
Because that's how close he is to Ebbets Field right now. So, yeah, I mean, New York, a city with so much baseball history. Did you get to? Did you kind of feel that history being in New York City? Kind of one of the great American cities, one of the great baseball cities. Any of that vaunted. Just kind of architecture, all over the place, stuff like that. Anything, in terms of like the history of the game that, was kind of special.
I would say, honestly, every time riding the subway there, and how they, used to hear about the subway series. When I'm on the subway and we're getting to 161st Yankee Stadium, like that is a feeling because you come out of a tunnel and then it's daylight, and then you just start seeing, the park. So it's just like, it's a crazy energy that you feel like as you're pulling in there. And then it's just electric because there's a million people everywhere. So it really does hold in its name. It's an electric place to be. It's an electric place to see a game. So, yeah, and if you can, yeah, definitely check it out. Go see it at the park, man, at Yankee Stadium. It's worth it.
Oh, man, riding the subway, I can agree with you right there that riding, I know the feeling because 161st is the stop for Yankee Stadium. And when you ride from uptown, I saw you post that on your Instagram. You guys got to follow.
Yeah, my man.
He's got vlogs every day, right? He's got those crazy glasses, the Ray-Ban Meta
stuff.
Yeah. You got to go follow Don Dishes on Instagram. But yeah, like that uptown, and then you pop out right at the end of Harlem, which, by the way, like Yankee Stadium is on one side of the water of the Hudson River. And then Polo Grounds was literally directly across the water on the other side. I mean, it's just so crazy the way that, that subway trip takes you literally from stop to stop is Polo Grounds to Yankee Stadium. So
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Anything else? You said you got a little bit of that hate. We definitely discussed in the past. The Yankees fans on the road, honestly, a little more. Like at home, you meet a lot of really good baseball fans who are not, to do anything. And I'm sure you had the one bad apple experience today. Anything you want to say more about that, or was it just kind of one bad apple?
It's a bad apple, and like I said, other fans came over, dapped me up, dapped my boy Brian up, like, yo, you guys are good. You guys are good sports, thanks for, for being who you are. Some cats they get too crazy, you know what I'm saying? So just some stuff like that. That was about it. But I will advise my big dogs, if you out here, get your water on, like my man Dom's doing, get hydrated. Because
Hey, the hydration break.
I almost passed out. I was hurting today. It was so
Really?
hot, so humid. I was doing a lot. I was getting kids
Oh,
balls.
yeah.
I'm running, giving them their jerseys and stuff. And I'm a big dog.
Yelling.
I'm sweating. I was like, bro, you're not drinking enough water. So yeah, get your water on. Bring your chapstick. I was dry as a desert, but great vibes. Great place to be. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. Glad I made the trip, and it's worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah, hydration break, 1-0 podcast staple right there.
No
But
doubt.
in addition to that, I guess get your thoughts on the recent news and kind of the next things up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you heard, Colt Emerson was optioned to AAA Tacoma after the game. Brock Rodden recalled the 19th overall prospect, a 26-year-old with some pop in AAA. Any thoughts on that situation? You've obviously seen Colt up close and personal the past 3 days.
Yeah, to be honest, he really does look slumpy. And we also didn't see him today at all, of course, because they got him out of there.
Just as a defensive sub late in the game.
So it's like you kind of do see that they're trying to work. Like he's needing a little bit of repair or a little bit of rehabilitation in his game, not in his physical, right? Just in his game. His numbers have just kind of taken a back seat to how he came out the gate. So I just think they need to heat check him. I guess it's something that we all have to do. But we have so many guys. We have so many guys. So if your stuff starts to slip, the option is the trip. And that seems like what we're dealing with right here. And maybe the young man he'll get that pop back in his bat, get that fire back under his cleat, because he's more than capable, and we know that.
Right. I mean, he's 20 years old. Anybody who's talking about long-term outlooks for Colt Emerson right now, don't listen to them. Don't think about we did this with Jordan Walker 2 years ago.
Yeah, don't do it.
We could do that for 2 years and end up at the same place. So we're not going to do all the long-term talk about Colt Emerson. Still think the same thing of him long-term. Again, he just needs that Cole Young offseason, where he gets to get in that weight room, bulk up. He's not anywhere close to where he's going to be in the next 2-3 years.
Sure.
Brock Rodden coming up. We'll see. He has the opportunity to, he has a clean slate with Mariners fans. He gets the opportunity to earn our trust, earn our respect. If you go in and take good at bats right now, anybody who does that, fans are going to be like, man, we want this guy, right?
For sure.
So,
it's crunch time. You show up in crunch time, you're going to be wanted.
And so, speaking of crunch time, the last thing we're going to talk about tonight, got the Houston series this weekend. Once again, Houston is the crown for the Mariners. You can be 9 games back. You can be 3 games back, depending on how this next series goes. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a sweep, right, puts the Mariners right back within 3 games of the AL West. Any thoughts on this series? Anything you want to see? Anything that you're just overall?
We got to bring guys in. We got to just bring these guys in. We have the hitters. We got guys getting on bags. We've just got to capitalize on bringing them home, and I'm sure we'll be okay. We were fighting against the Yankees, man. It's not like we were just getting stomped out. We did get dragged in that 10-5, but there's a lot of elements to that drag. We weren't just 0. We definitely have something. So my key element for us, I think, in my game plan, if I'm the coach on the board, like, if you get on, I need you on second. If you get on first, I need you moving. I need you anticipating movement because we're trying to force, we're trying to get this batter to hit anyway. We just got to move, man. We just got to get over. I think the sooner we can get those guys over, more comfortable that guy at bat will feel, get out of that double play ball and just make those guys make those plays. Keep hitting those hard balls right at people. Who cares? Make that guy make that play because, the play that George Lombard Jr. makes is not the same play that the next guy's going to make or the next guy's going to make. So just smack that thing, keep making contact, baby, and just run hard. Randy energy, run that out, and make them beat you.
Randy energy, run that out, make them beat you. I mean, those could all be the slogans for this weekend. But
there we go.
Looking at it, there is the chance that Cade Anderson gets called up. August 15th is the day that the Mariners can do it without losing his rookie eligibility. So that's really the day that, if it were me, to be honest, I don't see why you don't just call him up and have him start that day and then move everybody else one day further into the future. That's an option, obviously. Like you say, getting those hitters in. And like you say, right, moving guys over, small ball, really. But what I hear from you, looking at running, emphasizing moving guys over, it's the idea that you aim small and you miss small, right? If you aim for a big target, right, say you were, shooting a gun or you're, an arrow, anything, right? Anything you do, like you throw a baseball, you aim for, you don't want to aim for the glove, right? You want to aim for the center of the glove,
right?
And you don't want to aim for the strike zone, right? You want to you aim small and you miss small, right? If you're aiming for, the bullseye, right, and then you hit the target, then, oh, dang, well, I missed the bullseye. Hey, but I hit the target, right? If you're aiming for the target and you miss the target, right? Now, aiming for the target and hitting the bullseye, you're probably not going to do that. So you just have to be willing, and to play with that level of precision. And if you weren't able to do that, you wouldn't be here in the first place, right? So
exactly,
you can.
Sure.
It's, philosophically, right? Aim small, miss small. Baseball wise, I would just like to see it, grind, put together good tape, make us say, man, that was a good baseball game to watch on Friday night. And if that happens, we won't be disappointed. Anything else more before we go? I'm still floored, by the, what you got from Julio, obviously.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty awesome.
It is, man. I'm feeling, my heart is full. I appreciate my boy, man. And it's, the support will never stop. The love will never stop. Because he's gifted me something that doesn't heighten anything or make anything crazier. It's just, that's the ROI of just being who you are. Great things will come to those who are just, being themselves and playing their position to the best of their ability. So yeah, that's all I want to do. I just want to bring good vibes. I want to lock in, and I want us to get to that ship. I want us to dance that dance. That's all I want.
It's what it means, right? It's that story that Don told us, right? We knew, when Don tells you that story about Julio, right? That's not something that, again, right? It's the love that they have for each other, right? It's that, Don says, okay, or Julio says, okay, Don, he came here, he is genuinely just, thoughtful, man, what would Julio like, right? What does Julio want? Not many people are thinking about that. Anybody thinking about what Cal Raleigh wants right now, right? Not really, right? It doesn't feel that way, at least.
No, they're just treating him so bad. Yeah, they're not thinking about how to lift him,
Yeah, so, you being that person, right? It's that, you know how much, again, just like you said, how much Julio, cares about, getting that, showing love to those that are showing love for him, when he's putting on for us, right? So, seeing that as a representation of that is pretty awesome. And hey, maybe just maybe Julio goes on a hot streak, and this becomes a new level, right? Hey,
why not, bro? Why not? And you kind of called it, after you saw me give him the package. You're like, Julio's gonna go crazy, and he first at bat home run that next game. Yep. I'm not trying to. I get no credit. That's a baller balling. That's it. But that I could do anything, be a part of it, and see it. That's what I'm there for, man. So to bring my energy and see good things happen at the same time, that's just love.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow, these games start at 5 o'clock tomorrow. I'll tell you what. Home run Julio on repeat.
Let's go.
That's what I'm thinking. Home run Julio tomorrow. What's my prediction for the game? 4 Julio homers, four at bats straight after giving Don a bat. Julio has the best
Let's
game
go.
ever
Let's
in
go.
Mariners history. Hey, I mean, you got to have some love in this game, right? And that's the one thing that feels like, today with the 1-0 podcast reuniting, we Don, getting to hear and see about what happened in New York with him. I do feel like we're on the right path again. And remember, guys, as long as you go 1-0 every pitch, stay stoic, give all glory to God, you can't lose. We will be back again next week.
Hey.
And Don, it's been a pleasure having you from New York. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nah, I'm out of here, bro. But thank you, bro, and I appreciate you. And I'll be back. I'll be back on with you next week, and we'll just keep tapping in.
Absolutely. All right. Shut the stream off now, guys. Go M's.
My guy. Peace.